Thank you so much for stopping in. Recently, we have received a lot of basic information from previous channelings that the from the Sun team. This is another more information from the Sun team. This is the channeling I have for you today. By being aware of your path, your purpose, and who you are, what you are, is a stabilizing force for you. You are given this instruction so you find inspiration from your curiosity, inspiration to expand your energy resonance vibration in the way that is most beneficial for you and the humanity collective. Utilize your energy field to stay focused, to stay on path, and help the earth express the foundational knowledge for people to tap into and appropriately adjust to the trajectory of energy changes. This encourages resilience and confidence among all of humanity to adjust at the personal, individual level, thus creating your internal transformation. Earth humanity does not have the technology to register or define the frequency of our core, the Sun core frequency. Therefore, we send messages through our willing scribe. That's me. Remember, you are working on your own personal consciousness spectrum. The curiosity that arises by knowing your origin, your roots, where you came from, what you belong to, why you went to the earth, creates your internal transformation and inspiration. It is critical to start within internal for internal transformation. I'm going to read that again. It is critical to start with internal transformation. This stabilization helps you resist the status quo of repression and control, although difficult to let go of. Your routine, although difficult to let go of your routine, when you know your origin, along with why you are in physical, where you came from, and what you are, provides you with foundational knowledge and support to navigate the changes and to no longer participate in the established power structures that have been and continue to crumble out of existence, or to establishment structures essential for. You have accomplished a great deal of progress towards crumbling of unnecessary control organizations and of realizing at a higher level that you hold the power and always have. You just gave it up, gave up your power, relinquished it to others for a time. You stayed in that repressed energy because it seemed easy. You gave up decision making. You gave up magnetism. You gave up your sovereignty. You are coming out of the slumber you have been in. You call it an awakening. As you move forward, when you have an opportunity to look back, you and future generations of you will consider this time a revolution out of slumber, a dark age, into the golden awakening. And I'm saying right now, just remember, this is the Sun team talking to us. I'm going to continue the channel. We have come to your conscious attention to impart the massive revelation to the transformation of human consciousness without physically intervening, giving the knowledge and the information you, as a collective, need to make viable decisions. You are in an extraordinary balance point. If the collective doesn't allow elevation of the higher vibration that is offered by our imparted energy to flow through all of her earth beings, the advancement we expect for you diminishes greatly. So then they stopped, and I asked this question. I said, thank you. Of course, I said, thank you. I said, I understand the message you are relaying to us. I understand that. No problem, And then I said, I do have a question. If a person on earth does not know their origins, excuse me, let me get a sip of water. My voice is cracky today. I have a question. If a person I'm asking this to the Sun team that's been channeling. If a person on earth doesn't know their origins or where they came from, if we don't know our path or our purpose for this lifetime, or what our roots are, how does a person figure those things out? This is the response by the Sun team. The codes we send to humanity of the earth realm are seeding the understandings of origins for each individual being. In addition, the codes will import the knowledge necessary for the collective of humanity, so each individual holds the seed required to be able to advance all of civilization towards the growth and enlightenment required to elevate the biofrequency of the physical in preparation for change. So that's the first part of their response. There's more, but I I wanted to include this that interaction in this video because it's important, but they have a lot more to say and it's just too long. You know me, I don't try not to do too many long videos. So that's where this transmission is going to end. But I do want you to remember that several months ago, we were told by our universal energy team, we were told that we are working on our own personal consciousness spectrum. That was at least 2, 3, maybe 4 months ago. I started adding that to the, whatever it's called, the landing page of the videos. The first, I put it onto the video page, landing page. Each one of us has our own degrees of consciousness. We each have our own degrees of consciousness that we have each achieved. We also know, I think intuitively, we know where we're going. We may not consciously know where we're going, but we all know that we are leveling up or just increasing our consciousness levels. Basically, they're telling us we're working on it. These messages are helping guide us to the areas that we need to develop. They have said before, it's not every message, everything in every message isn't for everyone. There's a bunch of information that you take, it resonates with you, and then you follow that. And that is the curiosity that they're talking about, which is the driving force to everything They're telling us now that curiosity is the driving force of everything that's happening. Pretty darn interesting, I think. And they started out this channeling with telling us that by knowing or by being aware, if we don't, some of us, some of you maybe don't know what your path and purpose is, but being aware of your path and your purpose, who you are, what you are, where you came from, why you came to Earth. They're saying that having that understanding, that knowledge, and maybe some specifics, that is a stabilizing force for you and for humanity at this point. So what they are giving us now is a stabilizing force that we can work from. That's why I asked, what if we don't know, if somebody doesn't know, how do you, now they're going to deal with that. They're going to tell us some more stuff about that. But we're talking about this transmission. They said that we've accomplished a lot, done a lot of accomplishment. They said that the Sun team has come to our conscious attention to impart the massive revelations regarding the transformation of human consciousness without physically intervening, giving the knowledge and information to us individually and as a collective. So the 3i Atlas, the all of the other comments, the Swan comet, the all of the unusual planetary alignments, the 3i Atlas got everybody looking in the same direction. They have told us that many times. People, that what's going to start happening is people are going to start facing the same direction. In this case, 3i Atlas, everybody, not everybody, but a very big number of people did that. All of a sudden became aware of this thing called 3i Atlas. And that is how they, the Sun team, how they decided to impart this information to us without physically intervening. They don't want to physically intervene. They want us to notice ourselves. So they put something dramatic in the sky, somewhat out there, making everybody start thinking about it. Now, the other thing that was interesting is they said, you are at an interesting balance point. Interesting balance point. That is good. And we need to stay stable, know our foundation, understand that there's a lot of things going on that we don't necessarily have to define right now. I think I've said it a number of different times, but we need to attempt not to define or pigeonhole anything right now. We need to stay flexible. And that's something they said too, didn't they? They said something about flexibility, and but we have to understand that we are leaving the old. We are leaving the old. It's getting pretty clear that we are dropping off the old status quo. It's taken a while for things to crumble, the crumbling to the core, but of the establishment sectors, but that is okay because everything didn't crash and burn. They have told us many times it's not catastrophic. Now, if you want to crash and burn, who knows who comes out on the other side. And I think we all want to come out on the other side. That's it. I think I've gone on long enough, but I'm going to continue after the that short part of answering the question, what if we don't know? They are reminding us that they are sending the codes. The codes we send to humanity of the earth realm are seeding the understandings of origins. So as we move forward, if you don't know your path or your purpose or where you came from, we're going to get into those more detailed. So I'm going to end it here. Thank you for being here, and please stay tuned because there's a lot more to come.